As we know, skins have different wear levels, ranging from factory new, which is the cleanest level, all the way to battle scarred, which is the most worn level. A question that I keep hearing recently is how do we control the wear of our skins so that instead of looking ugly in worn levels, we can actually make them interesting and unique. So in this video, we'll see how we can easily do that. If you watched my complete CS2 skin tutorial, then you'll know that you control the wear of a skin using the alpha channel. We'll go back to that later in the video. But before that, the first question we need to look at is which skin styles allow the control of wear. So there are 4 styles where the alpha channel affects the skin: custom paint, gunsmith, anodized multicolored, and hydrographic. However, the effect of the alpha channel varies depending on the style or even within one style. The anodized multicolored uses the alpha channel to mask roughness, which is quite useless since in CS2 we also have the roughness map. Fun fact, if you use the roughness map for an anodized multicolored skin, any values you add to the alpha channel gets ignored. So this skin style is not relevant for today's topic. For the custom paint job and hydrographic styles, the alpha channel controls the wear, as I'll demonstrate in a moment. The gunsmith style's behavior is a mixture of the custom paint job and the anodized multicolored styles, depending on which area of the gun we're talking about. For the metallic areas of the gunsmith, whether we're talking about the default metallic areas or those specified in a custom material mask, those areas behave like the anodized multicolored style. And for the non-metallic areas, the alpha channel controls the wear of the skin, just like the custom paint job. So how does it work? Every image has an alpha channel which contains the transparency information of the image. In CS2, the alpha channel of the albedo map is used to control the wear of the skin using the color range of 0 to 255 in the black and white spectrum, with the exception of values 128 and 255, which have no effect on the skin wear. Dark values in the alpha channel preserve the skin and make it more durable, while the light values make the skin wear faster. In today's demonstration, I'll be working with the custom paint job style, and I'll be working with this boring green colored skin for the sawed-off shotgun. And let's say I want this crosshair image to appear on the side of the sawed-off for the warm levels of the gun. For that, I'll open the albedo map of the skin in GIMP. So this is the albedo map of the skin. As we would expect, it's all green with nothing interesting going on. From the shapes of the UV islands, I can detect that this is the left side of the body of the gun. But if you're working with a tricky area which isn't too obvious just by looking at it, then what you can do is open Blender and import the gun, then go to the UV tab and select the relevant area, and you'll see it in the 2D panel. Another thing you can do to be precise is to go to the texture paint tab and create a base color image with the correct resolution, of course, and then paint on the area where you want your image to appear. You can then export this image and then import it in your GIMP session. So now all that's left to do is edit the alpha channel of the albedo map. In GIMP we can do so using something called layer mask, which is a grayscale image that adds transparency to a regular image layer depending on how light or dark colored it is. In order to create a layer mask, we right-click on the relevant layer and choose Add Layer Mask. From the list in the dialog, choose white and click Add. Now we see a new white square added next to the layer. I've imported the crosshair image to the GIMP session, and our goal is to make it appear in the battle scarred level. Now I'll resize the image, and with the help of the base color image we created in Blender, I'll place the crosshair in the correct place. One more thing I'll do is to make sure the crosshair layer is the same size as the entire image, because in a moment I'll do some selections in the crosshair layer, and it would be much easier if its size was the same as that of the image. So I'll go to Layer and choose Layer to Image Size. Okay, the preparations are ready, and now I can finally start doing the actual work. With the crosshair layer chosen, I will select the crosshair using the color selection tool by pressing anywhere on the empty area, and then invert the selection by pressing Ctrl-I. I can hide the crosshair layer now since I'm done with it. Now I'll choose the layer mask of the albedo map. The white square around the layer icon indicates what is selected. As I said, I want the crosshair image to appear in battle scarred level. I also want the rest of the skin to be preserved as much as possible. This means I need to color the crosshair with a light gray and the rest with dark gray. So, starting with the crosshair, I'll go for this shade of gray. With the fill tool, I'll fill the selection with the color I've just chosen, and now we can see that it became a little bit transparent, since we're coloring the layer mask. Now I'll color the rest of the albedo map with a dark gray. So I'll invert the selection by pressing Ctrl I, and then choose some dark gray like this one. And again, using the fill tool, I'll fill the rest of the albedo map. And now the image looks almost completely transparent because darker gray values in the layer mask make the image more transparent. Anyway, that's it. We're done, and now we can export the albedo map as a TGA file and import it in the workshop item editor. So here's how this boring skin looks in factory new level. In the workshop item editor, we can change the wear of the skin using this pointer. Note that this value is for inspection only, and the value here doesn't affect the details of your skin when you submit it. So let's move the wear pointer all the way to the maximum and click inspect and see what we get. As we can see, the material underneath the skin, also known as substrate, now appears in the shape of our crosshair on the left side of the gun as we intended. In CS2 there are 5 wear levels, and each level has a value range as we can see in the list on the screen. What we did a moment ago was to inspect the skin at wear value of 1, which is the most battle scarred version of the skin. So what if we want something to start appearing in the well-worn range, for example? Let's inspect our skin again at wear value of 0.4, which is within the well-worn range, and see what happens. Now the crosshair has vanished and the entire skin is back to full green with a few random dirt spots. You can limit these spots with dark alpha values in the albedo, but you'll never get rid of them completely in high wear levels. So how can we make the well-worn version look more interesting? Let's go back to GIMP to figure it out. The solution to our issue is the same as we did earlier. We need to play around with the alpha channel. However, if we want something to appear before the battle scarred level, then we'll need to color that something with lighter gray. So I'll set the color to this gray, and we'll use the brush to paint a bad smiley face just for demonstration. I'll export the image and import it again in CS2 to see if this helped. And now if I inspect the skin again at wear value of 0.4, we can see that only the smiley appears without the crosshair. And that's because the color of the smiley in the layer mask is bright enough for it to appear in the well-worn level, while the color of the crosshair is too dark and only appears in the battle scarred level. Now keep in mind that these colors change from weapon to weapon and even from one part to another in the same weapon. For example, if I want to add the same shapes on the handle or the barrel, then I might need to use different colors. You will need to experiment with the alpha colors until you get the desired results. And finally, one last thing worth mentioning regarding this topic is the fact that you have the option of controlling the maximum and minimum wear values of your skin using this field here. However, keep in mind that your skin should support all wear levels. This means that you cannot set the wear to range from 0 to 0.07, for example, which would limit the wear of the skin to factory new only. According to the documentation of Valve, the skin should be available in all wear levels from factory new to battle scarred. However, they also say that you can limit the maximum so that it goes up to some point within the battle scarred range. Again, try to experiment, and if your skin at wear value of 1 seems too worn, then you can reduce the maximum value a little bit. So that's all I have to share in today's video. Thank you for watching. If you haven't done so already, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out my YouTube membership perks, which will help you improve your CS2 skin creation skills. Until next video, take care and see you soon.